The local chapter of the Migrant Labour General Workers Union, working in the interest of migrants, is soliciting financial support to enable it to organize educative activities on issues concerning migrants. On the 18th of December 2019, the group, while pushing for the rights of migrants engaged in various forms of labor, also remembered hundreds of those who had lost their lives in the quest of seeking greener pastures abroad. Deadly and hazardous as the journey is for many, Migrants Labour General Workers Union believes that education is the way to go to adequately inform persons seeking to travel abroad on the dangers of such trips, as well as creating an awareness on the rights and responsibilities whilst out there engaged in any kind of work. We'll be speaking to the head of Education in International Relations, Justice Bako Ntama, for more on that. But first, let's bring you a feeling of the life of the migrant. And my colleague Emefa Dradosi has been interacting with the migrant on his experience in seeking greener pastures.
Agent be no catch up there. Oh, damn now all called into some pia. Mon comes me interest more miskin yampoade. Into one I made this can the morning, no shame timer, more from Kobeni. Benisum do my reaching. I reach before Niger.
I paid 7,000 Ghana cedis to an agent who promised to help me get to Italy. I left with 6 others. When we got into Niger, I had to spend the night at the mosque just so I'm not attacked. 6 people died in the desert. We ran out of food and water.
Desert in 9 days. And 6 in the wheel desert. I'm a 6 in the wheel. And I'm in charge of seeing a can't do baby so fun as Sabah.
We managed to cross the Mediterranean into Italy. My friends and I were taken to a certain warehouse. We were placed in separate car booths. The car stopped after some hours and I wanted to escape. They gave warning shots and I was transferred into another car.
Car boots on the car boots you do baby with we just back up with some feeling made do. Never Jimmy, come church to some of the airplane. Sandwich. One of the calling. Son of Carno and Mission Watonum, the minimum of Watonum. One of Casayard Kissibi.
When we got to the destination, I met other Ghanaians and Nigerians there. They told me we had been sold. I was very angry. Just then, an Arab fired shots in the air and announced that they would kill us unless we pay another 7,000 Ghana cedis. That night, they beat me up using sticks, and they also tried drowning me for pleading with them to reduce the amount they were demanding.
Each base by 70 million. Now, catch a Arab in the Unyabutaman. And Arab in Casu, Ekachagani in Wakachano. And you catch me up with Temen or my gun in a bay. Fit a dinner watching and upon we go mamma the same. I know some kind of reason we go my the same. There wasn't it. I'm a cara one solo. To go mamma the same. We'll go more than Sugumechi.
They gave me a phone, so I called my mom to help me because I was dying. I spent 3 weeks. During these 3 weeks, my legs were broken, so I was using crutches even before my mum paid and was released.
Agents in or give me 70 million. Agents no, or give me 70 and out to Italy, or give me 70 million. In talk about them 30 million, I'm from America channel. Mamma is supposed to scan you for Ben. And this scan you. This is what I've been catching out. Blue, Wadi. Blue. And someone was in the say, Billy Bissam Ponji, now find an offering to prison war.
The head of Education and International Relations, Mr. Justice Bako Ntama, joins us in the studio this morning. Good morning, sir, and many thanks for your time.
Good morning, madam, and I wish all of us a happy new year.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit more about your organization.
Migrant Labour General Workers Union is an international trade union organization in Ghana ensuring decent work, social justice, protection, education, and occupational health and safety for expatriates, migrant workers, and refugees.
Right, so how critical is education to would-be migrants and those who are already out there? Because, I mean, we talk about migration, right? So people get visas and they travel and they move. That's kind of the norm, not normal, but that's like the expected way of moving to another country. So I'm guessing that your focus is more on those who are trying to illegally migrate from one country, right?
Yes, exactly that.
Okay, so how critical would education play in preventing them from putting themselves in situations like this?
Education is very important in labor migration and regional integration. That is why we, the Migrant Labor General Workers Union, have an education department called Finnish-French Migrant Resources Center, where we promote decent work education and promoting internal decent work for national, that's to say Ghanaians, as part of labor migration and regional integration.
Right, okay. Do you have any statistics in regards with some of the issues that you've had to deal with?
I cannot quantify the total or the exact statistic, but as a labor union or trade union organization globally and specifically Ghana as a nation, we have various grievances. That's to say the issues or cases where both foreigners and Ghanaian migrant workers come to our office for solution. And this is the case of
when you say they come to you for solution, what does that mean?
Yes, as a trusted and recognized trade union for migrant and expatriate workers as well as refugees, people have interest in our organization that when it comes for labor migration issue and regional integration matters, our organization is the best, if not the best, one among the best to have a labor migration solution. Labor migration solution.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That is why we believe that these figures, although we cannot quantify it, people have interest in us, believe that when they approach us, we have a solution, not total elimination, but you can reduce. That is why nowadays, this year especially, we plan to have offices overseas, certain countries where our rep over there will be able to cope with the people who have irregularly migrated for labor migration and is through the unapproved or unregistered agent, that's to say employment agent, so that we're able to deal with and find solutions. So parent or the family in Ghana or elsewhere on Africa country can also contact us to brief them how best we come or able to help such victimized migrant workers.
When you say victimized migrant workers, so my mind is going to the fact that if you've, and maybe this is a bit inhumane, but if you've entered a country illegally, what do you expect? How do you expect to be treated, or how do you expect to, to naturalize or normalize when you have actually entered in a way that you shouldn't have?
Yes. That is why education is very important in labor migration and regional integration. Before your departure from your country, or especially from Ghana, you need an advice. You have to seek advice from expert or the labor organization or expert who can give you labor migration help or assistance. Before or on your arrival, after this on our arrival, you might know as a intended migrant worker, you might know exactly what to do. But if you don't, or intended migrant do not seek advice or counsel from labor migration organization, the person will find himself or herself wanted, because some of employment agency entities or lead some of intended migrant to greener pasture where the employment is unguaranteed or where the employment is not exist. So on arrival, in short to your question, on arrival, you have to prepare yourself that on arrival you have somebody who is going to host you, where to sleep. Is your documents bearing your name right documents? For example, your passport, your vaccination, international vaccination card, is it not expired? Do you have because immigration point or at the immigration checking point, we are going to provide all these documents I've mentioned. And also, your mission or your intention or your purpose to be in that particular country or destination country, you have to explain to the immigration officers or officers in authority what is your purpose to be or at that particular country or destination country. Is it a working relation? Is it a family unification? Is it just a visiting or working conference or seminars or congresses, as we have it, or that for our members? So all this, an intended migrant has to look at all these angles and also make sure that he has a hotel reservation if he doesn't have somebody who is going to host him or host him at that particular destination country. And apart from that, you may have enough money for eventualities, because during your preparation, Ghana or from Accra to any designated country, not only Europe alone, but also Africa, the play is not like Accra to Circle. So you need to prepare yourself enough. Financially, you need to prepare yourself. And you need to provide every information related to about yourself and the host person or the organization outside, so that it will facilitate the immigration officials easier for them to approve you or allow you to enter.
Okay, so a lot of this travel that you are talking about is actually travel by sea.
Yes.
Because if it's by air, for example, if you are going through Kotoka, it's kind of difficult to get on an airline if you can't show a valid visa for where you are going.
I will arrive at that point.
Okay. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. So you are actually talking about...
Yes. So back to the regular migration through the airport, we need something like that is an air ticket. You have to be, during your preparation, after you have acquired your visa or any required document, you have to buy your ticket. Some of the embassies even wanted to see your ticket before approval of your visa. So through the airport entrance, what you may require at the place through the immigration authority is that you have to be sure that your intended purpose is achieved or is genuine, not irregular. So as a trade union for labor migration, our expectation is that whether you are going to visit your family or for family unification or labor migration or working purpose or conference, you have to be made sure that you possess a document that is related to regular migration. In short, we against irregular migration through desert and sea.
Right. Okay. So let's move on. So you have some concerns about how expatriates are treated in other countries. Yes. But how about those who are maltreating fellow Ghanaians who are working for them?
In Ghana or outside? Outside. Okay. Yes. As I'm saying, if the area of this maltreating, or that is to say the area focusing area is the domestic work. That's the domestic work, those who are working in houses. For example, an agent or employment agent will promise the intended migrant for recruitive work. On arrival, the person, especially the female, they will find themselves at the domestic work domain. So in these cases, Ghanaians also abroad are facilitating this irregular migration or also indecent work. Ghanaian abroad or Ghanaian hosts abroad or employers abroad are not also doing well. Some are doing well and some of them are not doing well. On arrival, because they know that the promised work is not the decent work as we advocating, the female may have herself in domestic work. And during this domestic work, that is to say those who work in the houses, being a driver working in the house, who cook, nanny, and watchman, or that's to say security, or those work pertaining to the domestic at the houses. So these people take advantage of their expected migrant workers. Outside we call it immigrant, but when you are call migrants. So immigrant workers like this, they are going through challenges, such as challenges in domestic work. So before somebody or intended migrant or arrival immigrant will get decent work, whilst he or she doesn't have work permit before his or her arrival, he has to go through this challenge of domestic work in the house before he's able to find himself or herself out to get a work permit before he's able to get permanent work in the public domain.
Okay, so for example, this is my issue. When for anybody who is traveling outside of the country, maybe this is where education comes in, because if you go to a country, let's say on a visitor's visa, and you get there, you understand that your visa does not permit you to work.
Exactly.
You also understand that a lot of times, if it's a visitor's visa, for example, it's 6 months, or even if it's 2 years, it's a maximum of 6 months at a time. And a lot of the countries do not allow you to switch from one kind of visa to another kind of visa whilst you are there. So those who may get into domestic work and things like that are working illegally.
Yes, yes, true.
Okay, so once you put yourself in that position, what do you do? How then does the Migrants Labour General Workers Union help anybody who is in that position, because fundamentally it is illegal?
Yes, thank you for this question. This area is very important area. We, the Labour Union or the Migrant Union, taking a lot of steps, or especially this year, want to be sure that we meet a lot, or almost 90% of these challenges. We are ready to establish, as I've already said it, have an overseas office to take up these challenges. That's to say, make a campaign or advertise, so that you're able to advertise abroad or wherever these overseas offices are, so that anyone who hear us outside can contact these offices, so that they will be able to go and seek a redress in case of labor grievances or problems. And in Ghana, we have normal someone or any person who is outside can contact us, or Ghanaian also can contact us.
Okay.
And this number is 054 17 35 787 054 17 35
35787.
And the second number is 0246 25 39 66.
Okay, so once we have people who have migrated outside, is there anything that is being done to try and bring them back? And what about the agencies that are actually acting here in Ghana and facilitating these travels?
That's good. It's a good question, madam. The problem we have...
No, it's fine, it's fine. Let's continue.
The problem we have, or the challenge we have, that's to say the labor relationship we have between...
Continue.
Between the agencies here and we as a union, is that they refuse to provide the data for this their clients. That's to say those they have sent them outside. So this is one of our challenges. But as a trade union and coping or want to do our things along the labor laws in our country, international labor law, that's to say the UN Convention and the ILO related legal instruments. Our intention is that this year we have taken these challenges to make sure that all these agencies who fill the immigrant workers outside or intended migrant workers will be dealt with. Okay. As soon as we get in touch or we get involved, this Kofi Mensah agency who facilitated this irregular migration for this Kwame or Mensah, you report the person to the Ministry of Labor and Minister of Employment and
okay.
Labor. Yes.
So that, okay. Well, thank you very much for the good work that you are doing and for joining us this morning. Thank you very much.